Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Danganronpa Antebellum Lockdown. Hmm. We're going to be starting chapter 2 today, which is very convenient since chapter 2, Deadly Life, just came out not that long ago. At the time I'm filming this, it came out like 2 days ago. I haven't downloaded the updated game yet, so currently the game I'm playing right now does not have Deadly Life in it, but I think Daily Life is very long, so I'm gonna wait till I get there because I don't want to lose any progress. But yeah, we are going to start chapter 2 today. I still can't believe I can't believe they rebooted this entire fangan only to kill off Dracul in chapter 1 yet again. I feel like that was like a betrayal. And it didn't help that his voice actor is also Hama's voice actor from Tetropink. So it hit me in the feels like every time. Ugh. I can't believe they did that. I was genuinely shocked. I didn't suspect Dracul at all because I was like, there's no way they're gonna do that. There's no way they're going to kill off Dracul in chapter 1 just like they did last time. Well, I was a fool. But it was quite clever of them to do that anyway, because from a writing standpoint, obviously you're gonna think that, oh, everyone's gonna think that Dracul's gonna live this time, and oh, surprise, this time he's the killer instead of the victim. But yeah, I'm excited to get into chapter 2. I'm also nervous because there are so few characters, like there aren't 16 of them. I don't know how many chapters this is going to end up being. And I'm just nervous. Yeah, I don't know what to expect. We also found out at the end of the trial that the 3 crimes got revealed. It was 3 girls, Lyra, Takiko, and Maiko. Or, well, her real name is Molly, actually. And their crimes were revealed. They're actually quite awful. I don't know. I don't know who's gonna get voted as the corrupt one. I have a feeling it might be Maiko, who might get voted corrupt this time. Though Takiko's crime is kind of really bad. Like, everyone thinks she's so innocent and sweet because she puts on this big sister act, but I do think it is just an act. I don't trust Takiko at all. Okay, she's the least trustworthy here, I think. But anyway, we're gonna get right back into it. I'm very excited. Okay, I think for here, Akari is Shinku's sister, I believe, and she's still haunting him, so.
What's the point in getting good grades if I'm just gonna end up working a shitty fast food job no matter what degree I get?
No, like, tell me about it. I want to drop out and become an influencer, but my stupid rich mom wants me to stay in school and get a good job.
Ismene?
I mean, with them getting rid of subsidized healthcare, it's probably a good idea if you don't want to, like, die.
Ooh, why can't I just marry a rich guy? Like, I know feminism and all, but it would make my life so much easier. Wait, I heard something. Did your brother just come home?
Yeah, probably. But he'll just go straight to his room, don't worry.
What? No way. I wanted to meet him.
Why? He's just a loser who writes books all day. Can't hold a conversation to save his life.
Hello? He's literally Shinku Kutsuki. He's the ultimate crime novelist. I love his books.
Oh, he's gonna be like loaded, right? Kari, how would you feel about me being your sister-in-law?
No way. Ew! Whatever, don't mind him. Let's just get on with this stupid homework.
Well, to be honest, I only really came over because I wanted to meet him.
Wow. Some friends you got there, Akari.
Very funny.
We can't just not meet him now.
Oh, I'm out of water.
I'm not going to be able to focus on the maps knowing there's a celebrity upstairs.
Oh, let's get him to help with the homework. He'll be able to figure this stuff out for sure.
Totally. I'm so excited.
I still can't believe they killed After Cool. Why would they do that? Ugh.
Well, well, well. Look at us. Back here again. I know it's been a while. What, a month and a half?
No, not that much for me, though.
If it was up to me, we'd be on air again a lot sooner. Unfortunately, we had some small complications to work out after the murder. Well, you've been left in the dark for a while, so I won't keep you waiting. I'm sure you're eager to know what the prisoners have been up to. Let me catch you up with the prisoners you judged last time. Starting with prisoner 02, Lyra Chattel. With her, it was a bit of a split. Back and forth. She was leaning pretty heavily towards Worthy for a long while. What? Did you think she was pretty or something? Or maybe you just wanted to encourage the cycle she was in. No, I'm not going to judge. All I'm saying is that if you voted her worthy, I'm sure she'd see it as you falling for her facade in the same way her victims did. But slowly over time, the votes seemed to shift. It looks like some of you started doing some thinking. Maybe you just wanted to uphold her wishes. Or maybe she just started pissing you off. Whatever the reason was, there was a major shift right near the end. I'm almost convinced there was something fishy afoot, but it's not my job to investigate that. Eventually, she was pushed just barely into a corrupt vote with a close-cut 50.2%.
Wow. It's true that at the end of the chapter, like, the actual people who are playing the game are voting, right? Like, this is an actual vote? Like, not pre-written into the story, I mean. It actually was voted this way? Or maybe not. I could be wrong. I could be mistaking that.
Holy shit, you were close to a 50-50, huh? I don't know what we would have done if she landed right in the middle. Being so close to Worthy, despite her corrupt verdict, has definitely seemed to unsettle her a bit. I think she thought if she got corrupt, she could just go about things her own way, which, yeah, she's been doing. But cutting it so close has clearly made her do some thinking. Her confidence in her own actions has definitely been shaken. Obviously, she thinks some of you just wanted to take away her agency and disrespect her wishes once again. Or just voted her worthy because you thought she was hot. But I think you've definitely thrown her off. She's been forced to think, even if she denies it. She started to seriously reconsider the way things have gone so far, not just discarding people's belief that she can get better, as them just being deceived by her somehow. Despite this, she's still corrupt, even if it's just slightly, meaning her access to kitchen supplies, medication, and the showers have been restricted.
Oof. So, does this mean that Taka's no longer corrupt and he has these privileges back? Does he remain corrupt for the entire duration of the killing game?
And her cell has been stripped. Not that it bothers her, she's been crashing in another prisoner's cell.
I wonder who.
The same prisoner who's helping her effectively circumvent her corrupt verdict, helping her get food, showers, and whatever else she needs like a loyal puppy dog. That person being prisoner 03, Ezekiel Elias. It seems after 11's death, he needed someone else to latch onto, or at least he wanted to make sure that no one else left him. Which has led to some fascinating developments, really.
Huh? I'm sorry. Are you here to say that Ezekiel went from clearly being smitten with Mint to now Lyra immediately? Dude.
Him and O2 have started dating, and have made this relationship very clear to the other prisoners, telling them that they kiss on the mouth and stuff.
That was a fast move on, Ezekiel, because, dude. Wow.
I'm sure I don't even need to tell you how much this all pisses off Ismene. In light of what happened to prisoner 12, Lyra has become her favorite target. The dating thing, circumventing the corrupt effects by sleeping in Zeke's room, all of it makes her incredibly angry. Although, as Zeke's always with Lyra, she almost never has a chance to teach her a lesson.
Man, I honestly, I don't know how I feel about Ismene. I don't really like her. At all. I think she's a bit hypocritical all the time, and I think she's kind of nasty. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of Ismene in this game.
But most of the other prisoners think it's just for audience approval. But who's to say? I'd rather just move on from that whole dumpster fire and move on to our next prisoner. Prisoner L4, Takiko Uchiyama. It seems our youngest prisoner struck a nerve with you all. As soon as the votes dropped, she almost immediately got corrupt, with her verdict steadily balancing out and eventually landing on 51% corrupt.
Yeah, what she did was really messed up.
What? Did it hit a little too close to home? I mean, I don't really know how much you can judge her sending her fan base to harass people when you actively vote to make people's lives worse, but I guess you can say it's totally different. Well, whatever you need to say to make yourself feel better about it. Takiko tried for a while. She really did. She kept talking to the cameras, kept trying to cheer up your days, kept trying to help others.
I still think it's an act. That's not who she really is.
But after her verdict came in, something changed. She still looks at the cameras, but she's completely silent. She just stares. I think she feels betrayed. But she always knew this was going to happen. There's been a shift in her behavior overall. Having such restricted access to basic amenities has been exhausting. She barely has the emotional energy to help the other prisoners anymore. Not that it matters much. Most of them have completely discarded her.
Wow.
If Fu wasn't locked away in his cell, he might try to help, but I don't think she'd accept it.
Probably not.
Sure, Santil still tries her best to be friends with Takiko. She says she doesn't blame Takiko for her crime. Santil seems to say a lot of things, is what I'm noticing. But naturally, they are spending less time with Takiko than they were before. After all, Takiko needs to spend a lot of the day finding someone to help them eat and stuff.
Wow.
But Takiko getting corrupt has made Santil rethink how harsh they were with Taka. Just a little bit. Nothing crazy. I suppose some of you will see that as a win though, won't you? Well, I'm sure you'll also be delighted to know that despite Ismene being mostly preoccupied with Lyra, Takiko wasn't entirely spared. It's nowhere near as crazy as Ismene has gotten with other prisoners. Dracul's death and the incident with prisoner 12 has dampened her a little bit, but Takiko got that sweet, sweet lesson you wanted her to get. A few times, Ismene left any food Takiko didn't eat in Takiko's empty cell, believing Takiko hasn't a right to be wasteful when she's getting help from others. Leaving Takiko to clean it all up before it rots. Which was pretty cruel, considering the corrupt verdict made Takiko lose almost all her appetite, so she's not been eating a lot. She's become pretty withdrawn overall. I'm not certain she's the biggest fan of you anymore. She's not too keen on being placed on the same level as Lyra and Maiko. There hasn't been any positive improvements in her behavior. If you were hoping to teach her a lesson or whatever, I don't know what you were expecting. All she's got is her views on the world confirmed, discarded by the other prisoners now that she's no longer useful, and an empty cell full of rotten food. Although, unlike Lyra, Ismene has almost completely stopped harassing her after the incident with prisoner 12. I keep alluding to that incident. How about we move on to it? Although I'm sure you already guessed some of the details.
Who's 12 again? Whoa.
Molly Yuzuki, who you judged as corrupt by a whopping 78.5%.
Wow. I mean, yeah, what she has done. We knew that her obsession with Yui was abnormal, but it was messed up. All three of them really messed up stuff.
Attempted suicide soon after her verdict.
Whoa, okay.
She couldn't handle living in a world where there was no chance her precious Yui would ever forgive her, and I'm sure the bullying from Ismene didn't help. But luckily, or unluckily for you, she was saved. Allura stepped in and provided Molly with medical attention, keeping her alive. Since then, a few policies have been put in place by Allura. Everyone will continue to call her Maiko instead of Molly, as she doesn't want to be seen by her old name. And no one is allowed to mention Molly's crime to her or discuss it. Everyone is to treat her with kindness and care until she's ready to talk about it or whatever. Some prisoners have gripes about how much this 28-year-old is being coddled, but I guess it's better than her trying to off herself again. It certainly made Ismene back off. She seems shaken by the incident. And one prisoner in particular has taken her under his wing. But I'm sure you'll see who exactly that is soon.
Who? Is it Fu?
Either way, I think that catches you up on what you've missed. Things are kind of going to shit, huh? It's kind of fun, in its own messed up way. Anyway, I'll leave you to watch the stream now. That's what you're really here for, right? Although, if I could just say something. Like, I know I told you all to be more harsh on the prisoners last time, but 3 corrupts is pretty fucking harsh, huh?
That is a lot, because last time it was only Taka was corrupt. The rest got forgiven. The other 2.
Now, like, I'm not against it. I just think it's kinda curious how it's the all-girls set of crimes that get the triple corrupt. Go figure.
Yeah, I still don't understand how Ismene didn't get corrupt, because Ismene is evil.
Whatever. Not like I care. Enjoy your stream. I'm sure I'll see you soon.
Lyra, get away from him, he's mine. The comments on the loading screen are so funny. I'll be the first person to admit I didn't handle Dracul and Mint's deaths the greatest. Even if I hadn't known them for all that long, their absence was unbearable. So, save for spending a lot of time with Ismene, I'd spent a majority of my time cooped up in my cell. Admittedly, I was scared of getting killed. Others, like Dr. Elenius and Taka, had taken the tragedy of it all in stride and used it as motivation to push forward with working escape plans. But I wasn't as strong as that. Perhaps I was just a coward. Yet, something had changed recently. Maiko's attempt was a very harsh wake-up call. Seeing her like that in the infirmary, it all felt far too familiar. Maybe it was just me selfishly trying to make up for past mistakes, but I never wanted to lose someone like that ever again. Was it his sister? Did his sister, I thought he killed her, but maybe he did it indirectly. Perhaps that's why these past few weeks...
Maiko.
Are you done yet? Or do you need me to come in and turn on the water again? Oh, no, I'm all good. Just drying off my hair. I'll be out in a second. I'd found myself doing whatever I could to support Maiko. Alright, take your time. Of course, everyone was keeping an eye on her after the attempt, but I'd found myself almost constantly around her, which meant she'd gotten quite attached to me. Phew. Huh, I guess you were right. I do feel a lot better after showering. Told you so. I know it can seem like a big task after a few weeks of not, but when you get in there, it's really not that bad. I know. It's just hard getting the energy. I guess I just built it up to be this whole big thing in my mind. I must seem pretty silly and gross to you, huh? I mean, it's just a shower. It's not that big of a deal. You shouldn't have had to deal with... It's not about if I should or shouldn't, Mai. I'm doing this because I want to help you. You really shouldn't waste all this kindness on someone like me. Really, it's not a waste. Still, I'll try not to be so stubborn about staying in my cell next time. That must have been really annoying. What time is it now, anyway? It's about 1 p.m. Really? Oh, geez. Is something wrong with that? It's just... never mind. I'm just being silly and stupid, like usual. Maiko, what's up? Who takes a shower at 1 p.m.? Oh, he must have been trying to drag me out of myself forever. I should really just be normal about this. Hey now, you got up before midday. If you ask me, that's a major improvement. You should focus on that. I guess, but I feel like anyone could do that. We were interrupted by a pair of voices echoing down the halls, headed in our direction.
Zeke?
Oh my god, slow down. Jesus, it's still so early. Come on, Zeke.
Oh, wah.
Don't give me that. You were the one who wanted to wash your hair. Can you just get in the shower so I can get on with my day? Literally, when did I say that? Last night. You did your whole, Zeke, if I don't wash my hair tomorrow, I'm gonna actually literally do that. I swear to God, minimum mini-me. Yeah, that does sound like me. And I know if we don't do this now, you're gonna bitch about it all day and get all pissy at everything just because your hair is slightly greasy. Aw, you know me so well. Too well, if you ask me. Yeah, whatever. I'll only take 10. Don't you worry, princess. So, like, is their dating relationship, is it for real? Or is it just for the audience? Because I thought Ezekiel was gay, but he could just be bisexual. I don't know. I don't know. It just seems so weird that he went from clearly being in love with Mint to now dating Lyra. Well, I don't know. Whatever. Shut the hell up. Good afternoon, you two. Oh my god, it's your favorite person. Just as I thought this morning couldn't get any better. Since the verdicts came out, these two had seemingly been stuck to each other's side. Much to Ismene's annoyance, Zeke was letting Lyra sleep in his cell and was basically doing whatever she wanted. Through him, she could circumvent almost any downside her corrupt verdict gave her. Which is probably why she didn't seem all that bothered by her verdict, more relieved than anything. It was almost as though it just confirmed all of her beliefs about herself and gave her free rein to continue being the bad person she saw herself as without having to think too hard about anything. Or at least, I think that's what she wanted us to think. Oh, it's afternoon, not morning. Okay, well, we just woke up, so it's morning to us. Right, okay. Whatever you say. You two done in the showers, or are you still going? Because I don't mind waiting. You're good. Oh, no. Maiko just finished. You're good. Sweet. I'll call you when I need to turn on the water, Zeke. Yeah, whatever. Lyra slipped into the shower room, leaving Zeke standing outside of it. He tended to prefer not being in there for all that long these days. Yeah, I wonder why. Are you two okay? You sounded like you were fighting. What? No, we just talk like that. Oh, I see. I guess I just didn't expect you two to get to the old married couple bickering stage so quickly. Yeah, well, you know how it is. Women. Bro. What? Yeah? Yeah? Well, I hope that no matter what happens, you continue to make each other happy for many, many years to come. Right. See, I don't think this is like a legit relationship. I think I hear Lyra calling me, so I'm gonna go turn on that water now. Zeke seemed to quickly slink away into the shower room after Lyra, a weird shift in his demeanor. Wow, they're so cute. I'm so happy for them, finding love in a situation like this. Oh, this could be dangerous because Maiko's gonna want to find love with me. Maiko, you don't actually think they're... Yeah, I know. I'm not stupid. But I think, even if it's unlikely to work out here, it's so romantic that they'll still want to try, despite it all. I'm not gonna burst her bubble on that one. Well, regardless, I'm going to get some lunch. Do you want to join me? I think I'm good for now. Alora says she wants to give me a checkup this afternoon, and she said she'll bring food, so I'll wait until then. Alright. Do you have anyone you can spend time with? I'll try to figure something out, but I really don't mind having some alone time. I didn't want to overwhelm her by constantly being around her. I appreciated she likely wanted some space to herself. And at least Dr. Elenius would be watching over her later. I had felt a lot more at ease leaving her alone recently, since her attempt Ismene had laid off her, and the other corrupt prisoners a lot more. It had seemingly shaken her quite a bit. Good, it should. I'm sorry, but Ismene, she's nasty to everybody. She's a hypocrite, and she just brings everyone else down. And it should shake her up that her words actually do have an effect on people, because they do. And she should, learn from it. Okay, I trust you. Just come get me if you need me. I don't want to bother you, Shinku. Maiko, once again, it's never a bother. I want to help. I know. I'll catch you later, alright? Take care. See you later, Shinku. Switching to the shower cams. Bye. Jesus. They have cameras in the shower? That's messed up. I made my way over to the canteen to get some lunch, finding a pair I'd gotten quite familiar with standing by one of the tables. A strange collection of objects, tanks, and boxes assembled on top of it. Almost as soon as we noticed, one of the pair came bounding over to me, excitement clear in his wide blue eyes.
Shinky-poo!
Shinku! Look what we found! Taka started pointing to a small glass box filled with various pieces of foliage and... Are those frogs? Pretty epic, right? We found these slippery little guys in the courtyard. Huh. How on earth did they end up there?
It's simple, really.
There were some tadpoles in the pond when we first arrived. I'm surprised so many survived until adulthood. That's pretty neat. I just hope we won't get to a point where we have to eat them. Oh, no, I can't. I'm sorry. I think I can't eat. There are many meats that I cannot do. I can't deal with it. I can't do frogs. I won't do rabbit because I love rabbits too much. I won't do horse. Ugh. Just everything about it is just disgusting. No. No, we'll just stick with the chicken and the beef and the pork. That's about it. Even pork, sometimes I'm like, maybe not. I don't really like pork chops, but I'll have bacon. What? No. No. We are not eating my babies. Not my precious babies. Laura, you tell him. No one is going to eat the frogs. You're fine. Well then, why are you keeping them? It's simple, really. With a little bit of effort, they could assist me in mapping out the sewage systems in the prison. Understanding how they're laid out will be vital in finding an alternative route out of here. I see. I'm not really sure how that would work, but Dr. Elenius was the one with the doctorate here, not me, so I wasn't going to question it. You see, these little adorable slimy babies will be our spies. They'll help us break out of here, one ribbit at a time. Isn't that right, Woman the Frog? Woman the Frog after Man the Fish? That's great. Dr. Elenius wasn't usually so open with her plans. I suppose she must have been pretty confident in this one. But I couldn't dwell on that thought for too long, as I heard a voice humming through the halls, slowly drawing closer to the canteen. And I clearly wasn't the only person who heard it, as Dr. Elenius promptly gave Taka the tank of frogs to hold. Anyway, if you could take these to the lab as soon as possible, that would be great, Takahiro. I need to begin my testing soon. Of course, right away. Taka took the tank into his arms and turned to leave, immediately facing the person who had just entered. Asuka. Asuka! Hi.
Oh, hey Taka. Huh, wait. What's that you're carrying? Are those...
Frogs! We found them in the courtyard. Pretty cool, don't you think?
Jeez, would you just look at them? Oh, they're so little. Oh my god, look at their little legs.
They're your favorite animal, right?
Duh. How could anyone hate them? I mean, look at their big old eyes. Remember back in Hope's Peak? We used to sneak into the science labs all the time under the guise that you were filming some sort of segment for your show. They kept on wondering where all the frogs for dissection kept disappearing to. It's a wonder they never caught us freeing them. Jeez, I can't imagine actually having to dissect something in science class. I know that it's a common thing. Thankfully, I never had to do that. Like, my high school never had to do that. Thank goodness. Like, there's no way. I'm not. Ugh. No. Guess we just made quite the team, huh? We did have a lot of fun back then, didn't we? And you were always on board with making sure they didn't get hurt. I always felt bad releasing them into the wild, though. I mean, it was probably best, but I wish I could have taken them back to the troop and taken care of them.
Well, if you'd like. Alora says we have to keep breeding them to make sure we have enough, so maybe we could take care of them. Together? Oh gosh. Oh, Taka. Oh, Taka. Asuka looked away from the frogs for a brief moment, and up at Taka, blinking for a moment before a small smile curled on the corner of their lips.
Sure, why not?
Really? I mean, aha! That's great. That's so, I mean, you're great. I mean, frogs.
Yeah, frogs?
I have to take them to the lab first. After that, do you mind if I put them in your cell? Just because mine is kind of empty right now. It's certainly no place to raise some frogs, and not to mention it would be awful if his men did something to them, so only if you don't mind, that is. So it does seem like Taka's corrupt vote has him as corrupt forever.
I don't have an issue with it. I'd be happy to have the little guys.
Of course. I'll put them right there in your cell as soon as we're done. I'll knock first, of course. Yes.
Cool. Well, I guess I'll see you later, Taka. I'm just gonna check on my washing real quick.
See you later. Yes, please. Okay, bye. Have a good day. Enjoy your washing. Hope it's great.
Sure. I hope it's great too.
Asuka laughed awkwardly and walked through. Taka turned to watch them leaving with the biggest, stupidest smile on his face. Taka looked down at the cage of frogs, the same smile on his face. Oh, Taka. Sweet, sweet Taka. Woman the frog, you are getting the biggest, fattest worm when we get back to the lab. Mark my words. Taka giggled to himself and rushed out of the room, holding the frogs with glee. I looked back at Dr. Elenius, who had a small smile on her face. You did that on purpose, didn't you? I'm not quite sure what you mean, Kutsuki. There's no way those frogs have anything to do with any sort of escape plan. Of course not. To tell you the truth, I've already mapped out the sewage system of this place. I'm currently trying to figure out the ventilation system. But Takahiro doesn't need to know that, does he? You actually care about him quite a bit, don't you? Alora let out a sigh, turning back to her remaining boxes of supplies. I care about reducing potential conflict in the prison. That's all. I meant it when I said I wanted to ensure no one else had to die. Well, whatever you say. Right. That reminds me. I've put the schedule for who's watching Wang on the bulletin board in the hallway. I put you on for this evening. I do hope that's okay. Fine by me. Do you want me to bring him food as well? If you could, please do. Alright, will do. Good luck with the rest of your work for the day. I think your assistant might be a little occupied for a while. Thank you. Do stay safe. After grabbing a quick bite to eat, I went back to the hallway to check the schedule Alora had set up for the next few days. Wang Watch. It's Zeke.
So, I've got the night watch today and the morning shift Thursday. Alright.
It's Zeke. Dr. Elenius had been organizing when we'd each been watching Fu since he was locked up in his room a month ago. So he's been in his room for a month? Like, no, I get it. I understand. I would lock him up too. He did stab Asuka, okay? And if it hadn't been Asuka who stepped in front, he would have killed Taka, so I don't blame them. He'd been well behaved since the stabbing, but we'd all rather be safe than sorry. Still, since we were unable to physically lock Fu's cell, we'd each had to take turns acting as a physical guard, which some people were growing tired of. I didn't really mind it. Fu wasn't entirely unpleasant to be around. If anything, I always found it quite easy to talk about my issues with him, even if I really shouldn't. But before I could dwell on it much longer, a fairly frustrated Ismene huffed over to my side and scribbled out her Monday shift.
Ismini. I assume you just finished? How was it?
Oh, just wonderful.
Yeah, that's about what I expected. Hey, at least it's only a few hours at a time. I don't care about guarding Fu. That's easy. That's fine. In fact, it's delightful. Shockingly. Oh, then why are you upset? Because every time I have a shift, I'm not able to keep an eye on things around here. And some people take that as an opportunity to walk around this prison like they own the godforsaken place. Oh, I can practically hear her laughing at me. She thinks she's so much better than me because she's found a way to circumvent her entire judgment through that idiotic excuse for a man. And what does he even know? He's not going to help her at all in the long run. You saw what happened to the last person he tried to protect, and they think I'm so unreasonable for being bothered by this. If we just keep letting her do whatever she wants and treating this game like a frat party, then she'll either drink herself to death or get someone wrapped up in her reckless behavior and killed. Right. While Ismene had almost entirely laid off Maiko after her attempt, she'd found herself a new target, Lyra. I'm not trying to just be cruel or unreasonable. I just think that if she doesn't realize the gravity of her crime, if she doesn't think about it, then someone is going to get hurt. And yet I'm the crazy one. Me. You don't think I'm unreasonable, do you, Shinku? I do actually. Well, I mean, I get where you're coming from. Exactly. But when I bring it up to them, it's suddenly all, Ismene, what's your damage? Why can't you just stay out of other people's lives? You've left Taka and Maiko alone. Of course I left Maiko alone. I'm not insane. And at least Taka has actually shown signs of improvement. Why would I keep harassing him when he's not actively helping the group now? Do they actually think I'm stupid? I'm not stupid. And then I realize I found myself defending Takahiro of all people, and I'm starting to question how we even got to this point. Ugh, they just drive me crazy. Maybe you just need to take a step back from it all? I don't trust what might happen if I take a step back.
I can't just sit around and do nothing. Not after what happened to Mint. Not after what happened to... Izumene fell quiet and looked away for a moment, a silence lingering in the air. Well, I suppose it's none of my business. I just tend to stress about these things, perhaps irrationally. Whatever happens, we'll have each other, okay? You can't control what other people do, Izumene, so there's no use stressing about it. Just focus on keeping yourself safe and content. I know. Perhaps I'm a little restless. I've been trying to keep my mind off of things. I get that, but try not to overdo it, alright? Alright. I'll just try not to stress about it. It's not my business. Right. I left Takiko to her own devices recently, and she's been quiet. I think I'm going to go to the library to get my mind off of things. I'll talk to you later. Alright, Shinku? Alright, I'll see you later, Izumene paused just before she left, turning back to me briefly. Oh, is Maiko doing okay? As well as she can be. I got her to take a shower, at least. She smiled a little bit, clear relief in her face. I'm glad. Izumene left on the hall. She was clearly still tense, but trying to calm herself down. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't also a little apprehensive of what was going on between Lyra and Zeke, especially after Mint. I get it. I turned to face the small girl who'd been watching me and Izumene speak.
Huh?
I get why she's frustrated. It can be quite exasperating to see someone you want to be okay do things you think are just going to harm them, especially when you think you could somehow help them yourself. But I don't think she realizes that sometimes you just need to let people make mistakes. Holding tighter onto people or being too firm because you think you know better just strains things most of the time. If someone wants to do something, they'll do it even if it'll hurt them. Yeah, well, try telling Izumene that. Exactly. She'll do this no matter what you say. Trying to stop her is just going to strain things between the two of you, and who knows how that'll turn out in the long run. Still, sitting by and just letting people make mistakes can hurt a lot, so it's kind of a lose-lose situation, huh? Suppose so. Something was different about Takiko since her crime came out. I couldn't really place my finger on it, but she felt a lot more honest. I did miss her peppy old self. Her smile used to be enough to brighten up my day. Now she was just off all the time. Maybe that's why I'd been avoiding her more, or just the fact I was busy taking care of Maiko. I just saw Taka walking by all giddy. He seemed to be having fun. I wonder what happened. I think he and Asuga are starting to repair things. They agreed to take care of some frogs together. Is that so? I imagine it's going to be rocky for a bit, but I think this has been a long time coming since the trial. I'm glad for them. I hope it works out. I think it'll make them both happier. Well, time will tell, won't it? Takiko smiled slightly and walked past me into the canteen to presumably get some lunch. I really did hope Taka and Asuga would be able to repair things. I knew it would take a while, but the fact they were able to talk to each other again was an amazing first step. I was glad to see others like Takiko and Dr. Elenius were rooting for them as well, even if it didn't work out in the end. Maybe seeing her friend so happy would help get Takiko out of whatever slump her corrupt verdict had gotten her in. Help her get her appetite back. I figured Izumene laying off of her would do something, but I think it's just something she's going to have to figure out on her own at this point. What does Takiko even do? I don't know. After my chat with Takiko, I made my way to my cell. Something felt different in the prison recently. I
felt like it was only so long until the cat started meddling with us again. We'd been here around a month last time before the cat introduced the hostage motive. I was certain if no one was killed for another week, the cat would take action. Until then, I was determined to maintain my peace. So I turned to my desk, ready to settle in for a writing session when...
Hello, Shinku.
Why do you always do this? It's like you cherry pick the moments I want to be alone.
Bitch, I can't cherry pick when there's a whole orchard of time you spend alone.
Just... Ugh, what do you want? Is this about me being cooped up recently?
Well, yeah, kinda. Like, I know the purple guy you really like died or whatever, but it's also been 3 weeks. Can you, like, get over it?
The viewers are bored of you grieving. Someone died, Mononeko. 2 people. I think it's reasonable for me to grieve. I just want to be alone right now.
At what point does it stop being reasonable and start being attention-seeking?
Are you serious? Do our lives mean nothing to you at all? Both of them, Mint, Dracul, they had families. They had lives to go back to, and now they're...
Appeal to emotion. Argument invalid.
What?
Bottom line is, I don't care. Most of you are going to be dead by the end of this.
You can't just drop that so casually.
Your lives only matter to me and how much they bring in views. When you stop doing that, I don't have much reason to keep you on air.
You know, telling me how little I mean to you really isn't going to make me want to do what you want.
Okay, well, I think of it like this. You only live once, so you might as well try and at least get some action before you kick the bucket.
Why would you want to do anything when this whole thing is being streamed?
I don't know. I'm not gonna judge what you're into. You're all adults.
That's not what I meant, and you know it.
If you're so insistent on not hanging out with anyone, then there is one way you could stay in your sad little cell and make good content.
Mononeko hopped off my desk to reveal they'd left a large box of tapes and a tape recorder on it.
If you want to stay in your cell, do me a favor and record some interesting inner thoughts or anything interesting on these tapes.
Huh? Why would you need that?
Talking head segments, duh. Cutaways from when we make the edited version of the stream with just the best bits.
You're going to edit this whole thing down?
Duh. Everyone just wants their content shorter and shorter these days. As long as we get the basic gist of things, it shouldn't really matter if we cut out the parts where not much is happening. You do not know the first thing about content creation, Shinku.
This just feels a bit strange for a snuff stream.
Little talking head segments and personal tapes will do no wonders to make the cuts less jarring and edit things to have a nice consistent narrative.
That's not the part I find strange.
Anyway, I'll leave you to decide what to do. I've got to drop these tapes off to a few others still. Have fun! Oh, by the way, if you have something you'd want to say about Dracul, or Mint, or really any of the male prisoners, please do share them on the tapes. Viewers always care way more about you guys than the girls. If you double down on your friendship with Dracul, pretend it meant more than it did, you could use that grief to make yourself all compelling and pitiful. As long as your morning is entertaining, people will eat it up. When your morning is just being stuck in your room with all low energy all the time, it's really boring. Give them something to work with.
Jesus.
Oh, don't look at me like that. You should be happy. You already have such an advantage compared to the others. If you don't feel comfortable with that, I suppose you could settle for talking about the girls. You've been close to Molly recently, no? Huh. Now that I think about it, she's kind of like Dracul, isn't she? Chubby, trapped in her own little world, unwilling to face reality. Now, I'm not saying you have a type, Kutsuki, but...
Excuse me, Mononeko, how dare you?
Oh, don't look at me like that. I wasn't making an accusation, just pointing out a funny little coincidence. Anyway, see you soon.
Mononeko jumped through the vents, leaving me with the tapes. I suppose I could record one, or I could get out of my room and spend time with someone else. Either way, I had some time to kill before it was my turn to watch Fu. Ooh, free time. You can now record tapes at your desk. Recording tapes will pass the time like sleeping in your bed would, but each time you do, your popularity rises ever so slightly. Doing free times will get you more popularity, but it's a good way to passively raise popularity when you don't feel like talking to the other prisoners. However, if you record too many tapes, other prisoners will start to wonder why they keep hearing you talking to yourself in your cell and grow suspicious of you. This will cause your trust to grow lower. But you should be entirely fine if you do it in moderation. Have fun. Alright, I'm gonna save really quick. Okay, nice. Alright, I could play for a little bit longer. I am tired, but I could play for a little bit more. It says whenever there's a character standing here, that means they want a favor from me, right? And I could get stuff from that. Kutsuki, are you prepared for your watch tonight? Yeah. How's your shift going? Any complications? None so far. I've given him a shower, so no need to worry about that. It's almost concerning how good his behavior has been recently. I was anticipating more resistance. Maybe we should be glad? You've already got so much on your plate, Dr. Elenius. I'm glad Fu isn't causing you any more issues. I don't want you to have any extra stress in your life. I suppose I should be grateful. It does make handling him fairly easy. Admittedly, these guard duties have been fairly useful for me. They give me a bit of pause from my work. I am starting to think I need these breaks. Speaking of which, Wang is changing right now. I have a bit of time to spare. Would you like to stay and chat, Kutsuki? Sure, why not? Wonderful. Despite being so close to my age, I can't deny I found Dr. Elenius pretty intimidating. I was surprised she agreed to spend time with me, considering how she'd stayed relatively in her own company with only a few exceptions. She seemed leagues more mature and practical than me, constantly assessing every situation and trying to devise solutions to our problems in the prison. Sometimes it was to the extent I would wonder if she was even human. Kutsuki. Yes? I know I've apologized before, but I'd like to extend a personal apology now that we're talking one-on-one. For what? For my plan with the controlled explosive not going how I expected. I apologize for failing to provide us with an exit. I'll admit I'm slightly concerned about what the cat will use it for later. But there's nothing to be done on it now, so I shouldn't dwell on it. I'm intending on focusing on finding alternative routes out. Oh, the bomb? It's fine, I'm just grateful you tried to get us out. Still, are you sure that continuing to pursue a way out is a good idea? You saw how it went with the bomb. I can't let it discourage me. I don't mind potentially jeopardizing my own safety for the sake of getting everyone out before further violence occurs. Of course, I will be reporting anyone whose crimes have been exposed to authorities if they aren't already arrested upon release. Nothing personal, I just don't want to get implicated in obstruction of justice. Girl, you're a criminal too. Just wait. Yeah, that's fair enough. Just a little harsh. A little too harsh? Don't tell me those exposed then. I don't want to cause unnecessary conflict. Either way, it shouldn't be much longer until we're out. I'm currently devising a few alternative plans to escape. Anything any of the others could help with? Is everything okay? Please don't take this the wrong way. I mean this with all due respect. I don't particularly trust anyone here aside from myself with this.
I believe I'm the only one capable of conducting some of these plans quickly enough. I believe involving anyone else may just delay the process even worse, or worse yet, cause massive collateral damage. I suppose you really don't want this plan to fail after last time. Precisely. I hope that doesn't come off as disrespectful to you. I believe you're very capable in your own regard. I'd just rather do this myself. That's understandable. I'm sorry if I'm bothering you too much. Oh, no. There's a reason I agreed to talk. I've actually had a growing concern recently I believe you could assist with. Me? Really? What is it? I'm concerned my continuous self-isolation from the wider group may lead to misconceptions. Someone as mature and smart as her is worried about that? I see. I care deeply about the continuous safety of everyone here and reducing casualties, which is why I've tried to remain dedicated and solely focused on devising an escape plan. However, my inability to work in the absence of solitude may cause some detrimental perceptions of me. I don't want to disclose the extent of my work in case the organizers develop an understanding of my plan and prevent it. But I similarly don't want my secrecy to lead to distrust about my activities. You don't want people to think you're planning murder or working against them? Precisely. That is one of my main concerns as of late. I don't want the misconception arising that I'm plotting something, when in reality I'm simply trying to help. You are both more social with the wider group than me, while remaining one of the more sensible prisoners, which allows me to discuss this with you easier. So if anyone holds greater insight on how to prevent this, I'm sure it's you. I apologize for voicing these concerns to you, but you seemed most suitable. Thank you? That's quite flattering coming from you. It's just my assessment. Nothing special. While I'd have to think on what to suggest, it might be hard to come up with an idea to prevent misconceptions without disclosing exactly what you're doing or taking time away from your work, which I'm sure you don't want to do. Preferably not, no. Well, I'll give it some thought and let you know. Worst case scenario, I'm sure I can defend you if needed. I'd appreciate it, Kutsuki. Thank you for your time. I'll continue to ensure our safety. Thank you, Dr. Elenius. We'd be lost without your contributions. It's simply my job. It would be negligent not to in this situation. Well, I'll leave you to your work. Thank you, once again. Stay safe. I left Dr. Elenius to her work. It did bring me quite a bit of comfort to know she was still endeavoring to find a plan to allow us to escape. I just hoped she'd find one before anyone decided to, or worse, anyone turned their backs on her and decided to scapegoat her for her lack of wider connection amongst the group. If I could help prevent that, then I would. I'd just have to think about it. Everything felt a little more high pressure or serious when it came from Dr. Elenius. Nice. Distant respect. Nice. Food time. As the evening stuck up on me, a sense of dread filled my stomach. I realized it was my turn to watch Fu. So gathering the tray Dr. Elenius had pre-prepared in the canteen, I made my way to his cell. Over the last few weeks, I'd done this a few times. Fu seemed to be oddly fond of my company. I think he just liked catching me off guard. He was so friendly to me sometimes that I forgot he'd made it no secret that he was only looking out for himself, especially with what he did to Taka. Still, Fu clearly had a soft spot for the younger girls, Takiko and Asuka especially. But he also seemed to have developed a soft spot for me. I couldn't exactly place why. But as I entered, placing down his tray, he gave me that same old warm smile. Hey, kid. Your turn again, huh?
Oh, come on. What's with the long face? Have a seat, why don't you? Alright. Can I get you anything? Brandy, perhaps? Dr. Elenius let you have alcohol? Well, she doesn't need to know about it. It can be our secret, kid, can it? Maybe that's why he liked me. As much as I was a bit of a teacher's pet, even if he told me something he shouldn't, I always kept my mouth shut. I never told Dr. Elenius about things like this. He probably thought it was out of some sort of fondness. In reality, I was just scared of what he'd do if I got on his bad side. Brandy isn't to your liking. Ever tried amaretto? I think you'd like that more. He poured the rich amber liquid over a few cubes of shining ice and gave me the glass. Here, have a sip. Just one. I don't want to make this a habit. Whatever you say. I had a sip and... that's not half bad. Tastes like almonds, huh? It's kind of sweet. Makes it easier to drink. I actually like that quite a bit. Sure you don't want any more, kid? If you're trying to get me drunk so you can get out, then it's not going to work. You're sharp. But nah, I ain't planning anything like that. As long as I get a little chats with you, with all of you, I'm planning on sticking to my best behavior till I'm let out. Do you offer everyone alcohol during these little chats? Only you and Scrunchy. I don't think you should be encouraging that. You know, you and her are both awfully fond of amaretto. Must be something about being easier to stomach than other drinks. And you're awfully good at changing the subject. Hey, kid. I wanted to ask you about something. What is it? I guess I've just been thinking recently. Wanted to hear some different perspectives. If someone does something bad for a good reason, most people usually think it's justified, no? Well, it depends what it is. True, but almost no one is gonna shame a starving child for stealing a loaf, are they? No, that would be ridiculous. If someone murders a pedophile, that's just cleaning duty, isn't it? I suppose so. You're more likely to think the murderer was justified in that case. But I wonder, if someone does the opposite, if someone does something good for a bad or selfish reason, does that make the good action less morally good? What do you mean? Well, if someone does something that helps improve a community for the better, but does it purely for the fame or attention as opposed to actually caring about the community they're advocating for, does it make what they did any less good? Once again, I think it depends. Depending on how good the action is and how bad the motivation was, I think it's a balance. The motivation can't be worse than the good that was done, if that makes sense. You're a big fan of non-answers, aren't you? Huh? Just an observation I've made, kid. You don't got much conviction. It's never yes or no with you, is it? You're always trying to find a nice, comfortable stance in the middle, as if you're scared certainty would lead to backlash. It's almost like making a firm stance in the past hasn't gone well for you. Whoa, he must have hit the nail on the head right there. No need to be so tense, kid. I'm just an old man spitballing. Relax. I don't know why someone who's so open about being morally bankrupt is so intent on talking about moral dilemmas. Why does it matter to you? I was just making conversation, kid. Anything wrong with that? No? No, there isn't. You had me worried for a moment there, kid. You started getting all snappy and defensive. I thought I might have accidentally stuck a nerve. Sorry, I think I just... You should do it more. Huh? If you don't stand up for yourself, you'll get swallowed by others. Besides, I'm quite fond of seeing you bite back. Reminds me of myself when I was younger. I don't think doing what you're fond of is the best idea, considering your current situation. Never know until you try. I'm just getting pretty sick of hearing
Snake Tat complain about you at every time he's on watch. You mean Ezekiel? Ah, that's the name. We've been here for 2 months and you still don't remember everyone's names? Hey kid, come on, cut me some slack. I spent almost half our time here locked up. And whose fault is that? If you didn't want to be in here, you shouldn't have been so impulsive. Yeah, to be honest, I'm pretty happy with how things turned out. What? I mean, all things considered, I got a pretty sweet deal, didn't I? I get all my clothes washed for me, all my food cooked and brought to me with constant company. And know the best part of that company, kid? I've basically got 24/7 protection out of my little gamble. If anyone tried to murk me while guarding me, then the schedule would prove they were the ones who could have done it. And even if someone attacked me when they weren't on watch duty, they'd have to find some way to deal with whoever was watching me. And at that point, most would just find an easier target. No, he's not wrong. Now that he put it like that. And I'm not even really trapped, am I? There's no way to physically lock my cell door, and I could overpower most of you. And even if I didn't want to resort to that, all it would take is laying on the good old food charm and sweet talking Pinky a little bit to be let out. But right now, I'm enjoying the 5-star treatment. So that's why you haven't attempted to break out at all. Bingo. Surprised no one has caught on to it. Why are you telling me this? Who knows. Maybe I'm just bored. I was starting to think it wasn't that simple with Fu. Only thing that's really worrying is no one here tells me a damn thing about what's going on with Pigtails. And she barely even meets my eyes when it's her turn to guard me. She's doing fine. I don't think you should worry. I think she just needs time to work through things and realize what she did was sort of messed up. She could do it again for all I care. One less creepy scum making this world less comfortable for our girls is nothing but a win in my perspective. I'm sure not all of them deserved it. You'd be surprised. A lot of bad men out there. It's always the ones you don't suspect as well. Bastards. Anyway, kid, the night is young. How about we break open some cards and play a few games? Alright. Perfect. You can catch me up on what you've been doing while we've been playing, kid. We played cards for a few hours while Fu ate his food, discussing things around the prison. I told him about my growing concerns with certain prisoners. He seemed fairly understanding. I always ended up telling Fu more than I really should have. He just had a way of getting it out of me. Eventually, my turn to watch him ended, and I left, cleaning up the tray in the canteen before heading back to my own cell and turning in for the night. Watching Fu wasn't anywhere near as bad as I always anticipated it to be. Oh, nice. This is perfect. I'm gonna save here and probably wrap up this episode. I know it's short, but it is quite late for me. But yeah, I am going to wrap up this part here. I know it is short. It is not as long as the episodes I usually put out, but it's quite late, and I just feel like I should end it here. I do think that daily life is actually very long in this chapter, so I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take to actually get to the victim, because I know that the creator uploads the parts on YouTube, right? Obviously, I don't watch them, but I see how long they are. And I think this one was it like 8 hours? Which is crazy when you think about it, honestly. But yeah, I am gonna wrap up this one here. The start of the chapter is always kind of slow moving, but I am looking forward to seeing how it develops. I'm scared of who the victim could possibly be. I worry for Taka solely because he's my favorite character here, and clearly my favorite characters die, so I still can't believe they killed After Cool. Anyway,
Yeah, I think that Ezekiel and Lyra's relationship is completely fake. There's no way they're actually dating each other. There's no way. They might be friendly, but I don't think there's a romantic thing going on between them. What else was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought because it's so late at night. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I enjoy this fangan a lot. I know that Deadly Life did recently come out, so I'm glad. That's why I'm doing chapter 2 right now. I was originally, after chapter 1, I wasn't going to start chapter 2 really for like maybe a couple of weeks, only because Deadly Life wasn't out. But now that it is out, I'm just going right into chapter 2, and I still do hope to, you know, keep playing it till we get through chapter 2, and then yeah, I'm really excited and also really scared about who it could be, because I don't know. I think it's kind of crazy that all 3 of the girls were voted corrupt. Meanwhile, Ismene last time was voted worthy of redemption. Meanwhile, she's like nasty and horrible to everyone around her. I can't stand her. I'm sorry. She's the one character that I'm just kind of like, ugh. Ismene. I can't deal with her. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm just yapping. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye bye.